Good morning. Today is Sunday, December 10th, 2023. And this is the weekly Bitcoin price forecast. So looking at where Bitcoin went in the past week and where it could go in the future. So this ended up being one of the best weeks of the year, actually. This is about a 10% week. We're on the monthly chart right now, but if we look at December, we're 10 days in at this point and we're already up 16%. So all of November, we did 8.88%, so triple eights. 28% in October, 23% in January. No, that's March. And then 39% in January. So we look at where we're at for the year. I think we're up about like 160 something percent, which is crazy. Yeah, 165% that we're up for the year, pretty much. Year to date, we're up 165%. So, I mean, a lot of people were, super bearish when Bitcoin was way down here. Things were looking pretty grim, but again, you had a great January. March was around the time where I was like, yeah, this is something real. For January, again, we were still below this kind of line right here. We hadn't pierced that, but, as soon as we did that and had that close, I was pretty confident that we were going to continue on to the upside. Had somewhat of a stall out period here, but that's fine. You need that for, continuation. It can't just go straight up, or else it just comes straight down very quickly too. So yeah, we're at the point now where I think we're pretty much hitting like up only territory, and we'll look at this is like the last major area that we have to break, about 48,000, and we're on the way to all-time highs. That's the last stop before we hit all-time highs at that point. So looking at the weekly chart again, look at that parabola. That's beautiful. That swoop right there. And really since the beginning of mid-October, it's just been straight up in a line. And we've been able to, people have been able to capitalize. And that's something that we haven't seen really all year. What you would see is 1 week and then nothingness, and then another major week, and then, kind of BS. And then you'd have, a week that was just huge, and then it just kind of fell off. And then you'd have this one big down candle that we had. This is the worst candle that we had of the year. It was like 10% on the week. And then a whole bunch of nothingness for months. And then now it's just like, fully in this move of, up and up and up. So kind of interesting to see there. Looking at what I was talking about for last week, if we look at the weekly chart, we've been in this channel all year, and we have finally shattered it. So, we went up, and then we went down, then we went up, and then we went down, then we went up, down one more time, and then finally shot to the upside. I was saying last week that I was predicting that we would come back down here maybe one more time before going up, but we were hitting a whole bunch of confluences right here. So we had the kind of this supply zone right here, the last place that it had stopped. You had the support right here that, like I said, it tapped a couple times. It tapped here, it tapped here, it tapped here, tapped here, tapped here a couple times and turned around. So that was a pretty strong area. So to say that it broke this upwards channel, and it broke the this support zone right here, that's pretty good confirmation that we're going to continue on to the upside. In my mind now, worst case, we may see maybe like a pullback to like 40K or something like that. I don't even know if that's going to be the case or if we'll just continue on rocketing. But again, yeah, once I said 48K will be a level to break. 51 will be a level to break. And finally, you'll hit all-time high somewhere around 69,000. 69,000, and then it will just be off to the races. At this point, you'll have a lot more people caring about Bitcoin. If we look at Google search trends, people really don't care at this point, and that's fine. They will eventually. It's better for you if you're listening to this right now. You have more opportunity to get into not only Bitcoin but other major crypto projects that'll be going. But I think we've got a little bit of time, but it's nothing that you want to wait on. Just assuming that you'll have a whole bunch of time. So. Again, looking at the daily chart, we had that major move around October. Yeah, it was October 23rd. And then it just kind of did. It was moving up the entire time, but it wasn't really doing much of nothing. So, these were, little tiny candles, 1%, 0.5%, 3%. And then you started seeing a little bit more volatility here. And finally, again, we got up to this upside, hit the top of that candle. Again, this is last Sunday on December 3rd. We were sitting right here. So I was like, yeah, this would have been the area where I thought like maybe we could come back down. But since we didn't, I am a firm believer that we'll probably continue going on to the upside. So like this zone right here, if we draw it, where's it? I don't know if there's any imbalance here. There's some imbalance right here, which also lines right up with the upwards channel, which could serve as a support area. So looking at this right here, I draw this line, or this zone pretty much, around this candle. And actually, I'll pull this back a little bit because this has been broken. We'll pull that back. And then we'll change that to blue. We'll change it to blue because that is going to be a support area. So that'll be an area for support. So again, you got a couple things that could happen, right? So again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday didn't go anywhere. But I think you could see a pull back to about 40,000 before continuing on to the upside. You still have this support resistance line right here. So really, maybe the low is down to 38, but I think that's even a stretch now at this point. So potentially coming back down to 40,000, seeing a drop there, and then continuing on to the upside. I mean, I think that's pretty much the gist of what my projection would be for the upcoming week. And again, maybe stop orders right here, and then maybe limit orders right here is what I'm kind of targeting at this point. But we'll see. Like I said, at this point, we just kind of we've cooled off for a bit from these major rallies over the past couple days, past week. And now, look, I mean, even on the 4-hour chart, you're starting to have like these moving averages, these major moving averages moving up. So that's your 200, 150. Which is also going to act as an area where these could bounce off of. So, I mean, you could pull back down to the 100 and then continue on to the upside. So you've got some confluence building right here. So moving averages, you have upwards channels, you have this zone that it bounced off of. As a matter of fact, there's still some imbalance here too. Let me see, I did that before it started. Yeah, so you had this area right here. This is another area of imbalance too, to where it kind of paused for a second and then started to shoot off of there. So that's one as well. Something we could look at. But last week I started looking at some of the other metrics as well. So this time we're going to look at Bitcoin dominance. We looked at Bitcoin dominance a while ago, but we'll continue on here. So on a weekly chart, we are still climbing for Bitcoin dominance. And basically, this is Bitcoin's share of the total crypto market cap. So right now, Bitcoin's market cap makes up about 54% of the market cap. And as you see, for the entire year, it's been climbing. This has been a Bitcoin year and will end as a Bitcoin year. Next year could be an Ethereum year / altcoin year. As we move into the next phase of the cycle, the first phase of the cycle is Bitcoin, and then stuff shifts into Ethereum, then large cap crypto tokens, and then finally you have the small caps and micro caps that that's the very end of it, and that usually only lasts for a couple weeks. Couple days maybe, and before you get that blow off top. So still some room to move to the upside. If we're just projecting here, I mean, let's say it just continues on that trajectory. That puts you into April 2024, maybe a max somewhere of like 59%. I'm not even sure it'll get that high, if I'm being honest with you, but yeah, well, maybe 59% before potentially coming back down. And again, that all depends on like how the market's looking. What else? I looked at Ethereum, Bitcoin, ETH, BTC. So let's look at it here. This is the monthly. We are below some of these levels right now. Still been like a down year for we actually broke down here in September. We broke this long-term uptrend line, which had been going since about 2021. You had that bounce off here. You were expecting maybe a bounce to the upside there, but didn't get it. Broke down to the downside. And then it looks like we have kind of stalled out here at about 0.05 Ethereum per Bitcoin, 0.05 Bitcoin per Ethereum, I should say. So this is, again, Ethereum denominated in Bitcoin. So Ethereum priced in Bitcoin. Where are we at? So you got the moving averages right here. I think we still have some time to stay down below here, especially with Bitcoin dominance being where it's at. That's been on an absolute uptrend and an absolute tear for the entire year. And I mean, if we even look at it here, that kind of spells the same picture. If Bitcoin dominance is going up, then Ethereum price in Bitcoin is going to tend to go down. Yeah, this is another decent level that we have here. Maybe on the daily charts a little bit more. So yeah, you had a bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, bounce here. And then probably some more over here that I drew out last week. But that's pretty much it for Ethereum. Bitcoin, we're still in the downtrend, still very thoroughly in a downtrend with no major upside. But let's look at I mean, that's a bit of a trend line right there too. So if I draw this here and draw that there, we're still in a trend line to the downside. So you have moving averages in the way, you have this trend line in the way, you have this moving average in the way. So again, but I'm not going to believe that we're even close to altcoin season until this starts to break out to the upside. Once this starts breaking out to the upside, that means significant money is flowing into Ethereum relative to Bitcoin. But again, until then, we'll just have to see. And then the last thing I'll look at is just the total crypto market cap, which is very promising, right? So this is basically going to follow Bitcoin's price, but if you look at it, it's a little bit different. So the shape of it is relatively the same, but as you can see, we've been all the way going up to the top. $1.6 trillion worth of market cap for all of crypto. And this is everything excluding Bitcoin. So Ethereum and down, that's about 700 billion, 740 billion. And again, that's still moving up to the upside. So everything's moving quite well. Total 3 is basically taking out Ethereum and Bitcoin. So basically all you're left with is altcoins and stable coins. So still moving to the upside. No real signs of turning around. I think the next point would be about 628 billion for the altcoin market cap. So basically shooting up 50% at that point. It's a 50% move that you would have there. So what else? Is there anything else I need to talk about? I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about. No, I don't need to look at any of these altcoins. I'm basically just looking at the KPIs at this point, just to kind of see where we're at. But looking at Bitcoin's market cap, maybe we'll just look at global assets, top global assets. Bitcoin, for the first time in a while, broke into the top 10 assets overall. So if you look at it, gold is number 1, Apple. Let me see. So these are precious metals. You have public companies, and then you have cryptocurrencies and ETFs. Gold is number 1 and has stayed there at a $13 trillion market cap. Apple is at $3 trillion. Then you have Microsoft, Saudi Aramco, the biggest energy company in the world, Alphabet, Google, Amazon, Silver, Nvidia, and Bitcoin is now at number 9. So it is leaped over Meta and Facebook. It has a higher market cap than Tesla, and I think we're going to continue on to the upside and see it flip Nvidia and flip Silver before being done. So I mean, I could definitely easily see us doubling the market cap. So maybe even getting up to the top 5 spots. So again, a lot of non-believers for a long time. In Bitcoin, but I mean, again, it does the numbers every single time. It's very cyclical, and that's what makes it so beautiful. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that for this week. Basically, the movement is up. You could have a slight down move down to 40,000 before going all the way back up again, or we could just continue on to that upward trajectory. So, that's basically all I got for the week. So you guys take care. Again, this has been Chris Talks Crypto. Check out any crypto resources at christalkscrypto.com, and I will see you guys on the moon. Bye-bye.